Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and it's time for the critique and honorable mentions from the weekend section, which was October 1st and 2nd. It was the theme of Round. Everybody liked Round. There were a lot of photos about Round, so I wanted to point out some of them and give some feedback on others. The new theme, if you haven't heard, for October 8th and 9th is Think Different. So just think about it and think different. So the first shot here, straws. I wanted to point this out. You know, it's interesting. It's a great concept. You take all these fluorescent straws and you make them go boom, and you shoot them. I just thought it was. I wanted to point it out because of the colors, because of the background, because of how it was lit. I don't think it was just cut out from a background. I mean, I say that because you can see the shadows of the black in here. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It was a really good job cutting it out, but I thought the concept was there. I love shots that shoot straight down and are very even. So that's why I pointed that out. I like the colors, I like the angle, and I like the concept. Want to thank one of our soldiers there for what they're doing. Chris, Chris Indimrul. If I said it wrong, don't be upset. So we've got bullets. Something about bullets. I don't know why they're green tipped and yellow tipped. I don't know anything about it. I just wanted to point it out. Magazines. These are magazines, right? They're not called clips. An Israeli soldier yelled at me for calling a clip a clip. It's a magazine, I think. Or maybe it's a clip. I don't know. I got it backwards. I don't know. But anyway, I thought it was interesting. That's why I wanted to point it out and also say thank you. The Fly, taken with a macro, 105 Nikon. It's always interesting to see macro shots. It's just incredible the detail that you can get of something really, really small. I would love to see how macro lenses are made in the whole story behind it. What makes it tick? Why is a macro lens? Why does it give you this capability? And I think a lot of people would like to know that. It's kind of like, how's it made? And, yeah, I just wanted to point it out because, again, macro shots are just pretty incredible. It's not easy to capture these flies when they like to fly away on you when you get too close. Here, this apple shot was close. I think, you know how we talk about artistic crops and all that good stuff? This may have been the time where a square crop would have added something to this image. I also would have liked to have seen it lit from all angles. From both sides, the front side and the right side and the left side. I think that would have made it pop more. I'm not sure that I like it on the wood, maybe on something like a black cloth, or maybe even in the grass, or under a tree, or in a tree. Not that you could put this in a tree, but again, I like those top-down images. They seem to add some really amazing dimension. I just think the lighting for this one, if you threw another light in off the left-hand side and evened it out on the right-hand side, it could have made for a just a more interesting image. But I liked the concept that was going on here, so it was a great shot. Nice try. I thought this was interesting. I've never really thought of this, that that the pages here would make a round ring into a heart. So for all of you wedding photographers out there looking for something, I'll say it, cheesy to do that the bride and groom may just love, then try throwing the engagement ring, or try putting one of the whatever rings there, and do a shot like this inside, say, their wedding program or something. So that could be an interesting shot for you to do. The next shot, half an hour exposure, is what they did with what I guess Timothy did here. I love purple. Everybody knows I love purple. And I just thought it was cool. I mean, long exposures, I've never done a long exposure. I really need to try it. I really need to play with it. There are some interesting things that you could capture here. This is really cool. Seeing all the star trails, seeing as the Earth moves. I mean, it's just amazing that we live on this thing, this rock, and it spins, and the sky goes like that. So really interesting. Liked it. That's why I wanted to honorable mention this and point it out for you guys to see. I don't remember putting this one in there. It's okay. If there was some color on the ceiling, I don't remember putting this in there. But anyway, maybe straight up at this one could have been better. But if there were some different colors, like, here's an idea. If you want to light this, you could put a different color gel on a strobe, or on a flash and paint different corners of light. Do some painting of light with different colored gels on there, because you could possibly come up with something really, really interesting by putting the gels on a photo or on the ceiling like this. Again, very symmetric. A lot of the repetitive things going on here make it an interesting image. That's why I wanted to show it there. These are always interesting. I think this would have been a better shot if that person wasn't standing there, but again, that's probably not your fault. You don't have control over that. This looks like an HDR black and white. Can you do HDR black and white? I don't know. This person had some other HDR images in there, but I love, this shot was taken with a Tokina 11-16, and I like merry-go-round shots. I like carnival shots. There's so much to go with in there, whether it's high contrast black and white or color. I just thought it was cool. It goes boom. Maybe I'd like it to go a little more boom just to make these a little more sharp. But I thought it was cool. That's why I pointed it out here. I thought this was close. The eyes are great. I think it could be a little more sharper, a little bit more focus in there. Not sure what the settings were, but it's the background that throws me off here. I know she's probably laying down on the towel or the blanket, but I think a different type of background would have drawn me in a little more to the eyes, and if they were slightly sharper, that would have done it as well. So check your background in the future. If there was something blown out in the background, my eye would be drawn right into her. So I would think about that. So yeah, try not to... Yeah, I think what it is that this blanket or towel is a little bit too in focus, which is taking away from the main subject. This, I saw that they posted twice. They did a vintage edit and they did a black and white edit. Either way, I pulled this one. What I'd like to see with this is I think the exposure can go up slightly and then pop in a little bit more contrast, and possibly this could be one for some fill light. I think it needs to pop more. You need to see a little bit more of the face and a little bit more higher contrast. Right now this is right in the middle, and I know that that's my style to do higher contrast, but I think pumping the exposure up a little bit, probably a half of stop, if not a little bit more, in Lightroom, that this shot would pop even more. So think about that when you're processing your file to make the subject the focus of your image, and sometimes by changing the exposure, you can then make the subject more of a focus. I mean, how can you not post this? I mean, it's alpha bits, but it's not alpha bits. It's Cheerio bits saying fro. So that's why I liked it. And I thought, let me see, go back one more. And I thought that Shutter Twins, really? Cool. What I liked about this image is that the clouds weren't fully blown out. Sometimes you see these shots, and I've done it myself, where I focus in on the raindrop at like 2.8, and the background totally fades away. Sometimes it works, and in other times, I thought this was really good. The raindrops are sharp. The sky is blue. It's clearing. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. Maybe. So that's why I liked it. We've got a girl here. Leave a little bit more room with the foot. It's a little too close to the edge. And to me, we've got a beautiful girl here, but this sand on her leg is totally taking the shot away. It's like totally interfering with the image. So I would just wipe that off, clean that up, make it a little more glamoury, and less sand on her tuchus and less on her legs, and I would like it more. And I thought this was a great play on the concept of round. He's inside the jungle gym. Just interesting processing. It's really pulled back, but I like the vintagey feel of it. I like how this is all running around and around and around. It's leading lines, except they're round leading lines, I think, because this keeps drawing you in and around and right to the subject. So that is what makes this image. You get drawn right into the subject, and that's really cool. So very nice job on that shot. And I believe this is the last shot. How can you not put up a picture of a kitty cat in pant legs of a jean? Jean pants. Jeans. Yes. Kitty cat in jeans. There you go. I liked it. And that takes us back to the straws again. So really, again, a ton of photos posted this weekend. It's not easy to select the top 5. That's why I pull out a lot of these for honorable mentions and some critiques. But in coming weeks, I am going to try to get Adam to pick the top 5 so that it's not just my views being selected for the top 5 images. And I'll try to have guest people more often. Maybe I'll have Richie do it where he picks the top 5 from the weekend, just so that somebody else's vision is seen on the weekend. So the new theme again for the 8th and 9th of October is Think Different. And be sure to check out what the new mystery t-shirt is and how you can pre-order it and win some free stuff for being one of those early adopters and all of that. So, great job. See you next week. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.